Hi, Mark. Here, Friday, December the 19th, just after 8 a.m. Eastern. It's just after 1 p.m. GMT. US session now underway. Let's have a look how the market's shaping up. US dollar index, strong start. I've got support of 98.09. I've got resistance of 98.39. This resistance level has been a support level before. That was in October when support becomes resistance, and their support as well. That was just beginning of December. We'll see whether that becomes relevant. Buyers will look to test break above this resistance if US dollar strength continues, if there's demand for US dollars. Alternatively, if there's a turnaround, like we see so often, when the US session starts, we do get a turnaround. We've seen it both ways, from strong US to weak US and weak US to strong US. If we get a turnaround and sellers do step in, they'll be looking back down at the 98.09 support level. But strong US dollar to start the US session. Let's have a look at the S&P. We're looking at the futures market. Good 1.5 hours until Wall Street opens up. For now, there was a slight push higher. There's the wick. You can see it's come back down and sitting pretty much at yesterday's close. I've got support at 6,820. I've got resistance at 6,852. Perhaps still one last push higher for the year, some kind of a center rally. Buyers would look up at the 6,900 if there is demand, and if we see the S&P have one last real push higher, that would be the target on the upside. Alternatively, if there is a sell-off and this downtrend continues, sellers will be looking at the 6,820 and down to the 6,800 level. Let's have a look at gold. Gold sitting still pretty flat, tried lower earlier, 4,308 to support. That 4,300 support level, same as yesterday. Buyers are trying to push higher. I've got resistance at 4,338. But as you can see, uptrend still in place. Today, we did have a push lower below this ascending trend line, but buyers are trying to get back above the trend line. We'll see whether buyers can get above this current tough resistance area. Pushed higher yesterday, all the way up to 4,373, almost at the record high. We'll see if buyers again step in, if buyers again look to come up and retest these record high levels, or if sellers come back down to test the 4,300 support level. I think gold could take its lead from the US dollar performance today. We'll see how that plays out. If the US dollar continues its strong run, that may hold back further upside from gold. Weak US dollar, if the US dollar does turn around from strong to weak, like we saw uh, uh, when we looked at the index, that could be an incentive for gold to give that one last push higher. Let's have a look at oil. Still the downtrend very much intact. We did see 2 days ago a bounce up, I think more technical than fundamental. Supply issues haven't yet come into the picture. Yesterday, a sell-off again. Today is fighting back slightly. I've got support 59.78. I've got resistance up at 59.96. Buyers looking to come up and retest that $60 level and higher. 60.71 is this resistance level. That's what buyers will be looking for. We'll see whether demand continues and whether buyers can prevail again today once the US session does get into full swing, or if sellers do step in and we see a continuation of this downtrend and sellers look to test and break below the 59.25 level. Bitcoin Bitcoin off to a strong start. This descending trend line, which has maintained right up until yesterday, was tested, and then sellers step back in. There's the wick today. Buyers again looking to push higher. I've got support at 85,000. I've got resistance at 88.2 thousand. We'll see whether buyers can break above this level, go on to test that 90,000, perhaps higher, or if sellers do step in like we've seen the past couple of days after an early start and come back down and retest this 85,000 support, a tough level to break below, has tried 3 times recently, unable to on this third attempt as well. Bounce up off the support. Again, we'll see whether that can continue if sellers do eventually get to break below this 85,000 and maybe look down at this 80,000, the next target on the downside. Good trading. Keep that discipline, and I'll see you at the end of day.